Crypto gaming is finally starting to wake up after a rough time this year, not being able to keep up the pace with AI and meme. Definitely sidelined and ignored, but it's looking like the narrative is starting to change. Lots of gaming coins erased months of losses within just a few green candles, and in today's video, I want to cover the exact subsectors that make up crypto gaming, and I want to give you a list of coins starting from big market caps all the way down to small market caps, so that by the end of this video, you can start to add these coins into your crypto portfolio based on your appetite for risk. Now, unlike AI, which I still believe will do very well in the next 6 to 12 months, AI right now is just vaporware. It's all words and promises, and there's not actually anything functioning in the real world. Whereas with gaming, you have AAA studios who have had lots of success in the Web 2 space, now transitioning same teams into the Web 3 space. Now, before we start covering all the gaming coins, we need to cover the macro case. I covered this in my video yesterday, but I'll just go over it quickly again. Until we break this actual market structure of 65K, we're at the risk of being just another lower high. Lower high, lower high. And as we break that 65K, this could be just another lower high. He gets super bullish at resistance, but if we don't break this resistance, we could come back down and test the range. Make sure to manage your risk. What you could do, wait for the market structure to break, come back down and retest, buy that retest here. This tweet from Trader Main is talking about Bitcoin dominance, saying that Bitcoin dominance has barely flinched. Alts ripped 20 to 50% in the last few days. Imagine what actually happens when this goes down. Going back to TradingView, see that Bitcoin dominance has just been ping ponging back and forth. Now, what happens when we actually break that structure, go down to the 54s, 53%? That's when alt season really happens. Now, let's speak about the different subsectors within crypto gaming. I'm going to split them up into 6 sectors, and this is going to go from the least risk all the way to the highest risk. And within those subsectors themselves, they're also going to be obviously ones that have the highest market cap to the lowest ones. So you'll also have high risk to low risk within each subsector as well. The first one is going to be infrastructure. Second one is going to be launchpads. The third one is going to be studios, which are going to be gaming studios that have many games. Fourth one is going to be just games themselves, so one game at a time. Fifth one is going to be metaverses. And the sixth one, which I honestly wouldn't touch right now, is going to be the NFTs within the actual games themselves. And to put it simply, why is Web3 gaming more valuable than Web2 gaming? Web3 gaming gives the ownership of assets within the game back to the Web2 game, for example, like FIFA. You spent $50 buying player packs, got a Cristiano Ronaldo card. That used to be stuck in the game and you weren't actually able to sell it. Now, if you wanted to sell it to someone on the internet, you'd have to give them your entire account, your username, and your password. That made it very difficult. With Web3, there are now marketplaces that you can trade in and out of with real money, the value that you have within your games. So if you wanted to sell your Cristiano Ronaldo card for $1,000, you could, and you could take that $1,000 and now go into the next game like World of Warcraft or Call of Duty, buy the best weapon or the best gun. Web3 companies are still making money out of this because they used to take a fee every time they sold something, but maybe it would only be sold once. Now they're taking a fee, let's say a 2.5% charge every time an item is sold, but they take that 2% charge every time an item is sold forever. And within these 6 subsectors, there's going to be a lot of coins involved, and they're also going to sit under an umbrella of L1s. 3 L1s that are going to do really well. Gaming are going to be Sol, AVAX, and Phantom. The reason that is because higher levels of transactions per second compared to something like ETH. ETH can only handle between like 15 to 60 transactions per second. Gas can cost up to $200, $300, $400. The network gets really congested. Whereas Sol, Phantom, and ETH pay little gas and handle lots of transactions. That's why it's more suitable for gaming. That's why projects who are sending 500K at a time will want to use ETH because it's more secure, even though it's more expensive. And gaming companies who want to have cheaper gas but more transactions are going to go towards Sol, Phantom. And before I cover these gaming coins, there's something that you all need to understand, and that is altcoin dilution and token unlocks. What is altcoin dilution? To give you a very simple example, right now, compared to 1 year ago, there are way more coins. Now, all things being equal, if there's the same amount of capital going after 1,000 times more coins, all of those coins obviously can't have the same amount of growth. The strategy that was used the last bull run could have been Go and look for all the small altcoins that haven't pumped yet and just go and put your money in it because when all the coins rise or when the tide rises, all the boats rise together. Now, that used to be the case where what was important was market timing, being in the market at the right time when everything rose together. What's more important now, asset allocation. You have to go and pick the right coins because now there's going to be less winners, but the winners are going to win out of proportion to. You have to make sure that you're picking the right asset. Other thing you need to know about is token unlocks. If this bull run is going to go on for the next 6 to 12 months, a lot of these coins have vesting periods where people got in early as investors are slowly going to get their tokens unlocked over 6 months, 12 months, and they're going to sell these. Price is 50 times, 100 times, sometimes even 200 times higher than when they originally bought it. And they will dump on you and they will dump the price. Why it's also important to not have 30 coins. If you have just 10 coins, you can actually understand when these token unlocks are coming up, not holding through those periods, selling before. If you have 30, you're not going to remember any of these. You won't be able to even keep track of your portfolio. You're going to hold through all these token unlocks and you're going to get dumped on. Now let's get into the coins, which is why I'm sure you're watching. Now I'm going to go over through them through infrastructure coins, launchpads, studios, games, meta, and then maybe I'll cover some. But I think NFTs right now is a very high risk play that I wouldn't touch. Within infrastructure, I think infrastructure is going to be lowest risk, and going to NFTs highest risk. And obviously within the actual subsectors as well, I'm also going to go from high market cap to low market cap. The high market cap is going to be less risk, and then obviously the low market cap higher risk. First one is going to be IMX. This is going to be an infrastructure play already valued at billion. This is going to be your market leader. If you just want to buy this, set it, forget it, and come back in 6 months. This is going to be one that you purchase. Obviously, it's already valued at almost at $3 billion. It's not going to have as much growth as ones that put smaller market caps. If you want to have a bit more upside, but you still don't want to take risk, I would recommend you to buy Beam. I would also recommend you to buy Prime, and then I would recommend you to buy Super. Those would be my top 4 picks for gaming for infrastructure plays. If you don't want to take any more risk, you could literally just go buy those 4 and log out and come back in 6 months. Now, if you want to go a bit more of risky assets, what you can be looking at is Veracity. Veracity around the streaming of games, allowing people to make money. That's valued at 37 million. Got Ultra. Ultra also valued at 37 million. Ultra is the Steam of gaming, and this is going marketplace where all the Web3 games are, where you can come and learn about the games. You have a marketplace to buy, sell NFT. Also look at reviews. You can also look at guides, very similar to Games G, which is a very small market cap, 7.8 million. Please do your research if you buy these coins. Games GG, what is really interesting about it, it's a very small coin right now, and it's basically a marketplace where you can come, look at the games, you can read reviews, guides, you can look at the genres, you can look at analytics, quests that will be able to allow you to earn rewards. You can watch the news, NFTs, and there's also a vault of upcoming projects. And you can also put all of your project allocations dashboard. And I'm sure this is going to turn in pad as well. I'd be very surprised if they don't turn pad. And also you got Altura. Altura hasn't done well this year at all. It did very well in the last bull run. And Altura, what it allows you to do is allows NFT to change over time. Now imagine if you were playing a game and you got a sword that was a level 1 sword. Now you kept playing with it, and that's a level 10 sword. An NFT is a non-fungible token, which means it cannot be it's immutable, so it cannot be changed. But if you have a level 1 sword and it's now a level 10 sword, how does that NFT change time? That's what exactly the tech that Altura allows it to do. It allows that sword to change the looks, the stats, the colors, whatever it needs to change for you to be able to go and put that on the marketplace, sell for a higher amount, or just walk around and flex that you got a sword rather than level 1. Next one is going to be metaverses. So metaverses, what I covered earlier, is going to be down here. I'm going to put that up there. Metaverse, Wilder World at 69 million. If you look at the price action past, it's done big numbers at levels of went up to $6. Right now, it's just about 0.27. You also have to look at the fully diluted market cap and also the market cap. So over here, over time, as I spoke about altcoin dilution and token unlocks over time is going to bridge the gap between market cap and fully diluted supply. So if you go back right now, you'll guarantee that when it was at $6, wasn't another 20x or 30x above here. Right now, it's valued at 68 million, and at the peak, 496. So that's not even 10x right now. But if you look at the price, we're way more than 10x. A 10x only. That's the danger of holding these coins, especially these tiny little altcoins that have token unlocks over 12 months. You never want to do that because there will be so many unlocks. The price is just going to get dumped on. Next up, I have CeDeFi. CeDeFi is going to be launchpads. And if you go and look back what happened last bull run, that CeDeFi went up to $50. I wouldn't be surprised, even with the token unlocks, if CeDeFi went back to $10 this run if gaming really gets out of proportion. What CeDeFi allows you to do invest early into projects that normally only seed rounds would get into. Of course, you have to hold a certain amount, maybe hold $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, get into the highest tiers, but I think you can begin with $3,000 to $5,000. That allows you to get in at the games at seed prices that once the token is launched, you're going to basically get an instant 10, 20x. It's very simple play. If you don't have enough money to actually get into the rounds, there's going to be so much demand on the CeDeFi coin itself for other people to get into the seed rounds that the price is going to just go up. Next one is going to be gaming studios, PYR, Vulcan Forged. This is a bit of a dinosaur. As you can see in the price action, it went up to $40 this time, last bull run. I don't see it going anywhere near this time. I think it's had not as much traction compared to the hype that it had in the last bull run, but I could definitely see this going up to 10, $15. Looking at PYR is giving me the same feeling as looking at Gala. If you go look up Gala right now, it's valued at 752 million. And in the last bull run, it went up all the way to almost 71 cents. We're now sitting at 0. Gala is also a gaming studio, so a studio with lots of games. This is also a bit lower risk because you're not just hoping that one game will do well, basically buying into a studio that could have 20, 30 games and hoping that 3 or 4 of the games are going to do really well and going to lift the boat of the entire studio. Will Gala come back? See that it has a very close market cap to its fully diluted market cap, which means that there's not going to be a lot of token unlocks coming up in the future. In the past, there were a lot of token unlocks, and I think that's why there was a lot of price being dumped in the bear market. But if you do believe in Gala and you do believe that they have a lot of games coming up in this studio and that they're going to have success, this is a good one because fully diluted market cap being so close to cap. Or have a look at what it says. QIR, QIR right now 114 million, 7 million. That's also not bad as well. Carrot's on a big run right now. It's basically doubled. Came down from 0.26 all the way to 0.56. Done more than 100% in the past few days. I wouldn't go chasing this just yet. But I do think that Carrot as a gaming studio has a lot to come in. It's got a triple gaming studio valued at 63 million. Definitely seeing this full run goes to 300 to 400 million without a problem. Part of the My Pet Hooligan. Illuvium is another dinosaur that did really well in the last bull run. He went up to 1,600, 1,800. Right now is sitting at $40. Don't think it's going to go anywhere near 1,600, but I do think there's a lot of room for growth. I still think it will do very well. They have a great team, got really good animation. And they already had a working demo even in the last bull. Next one is going to be Big Time. To compare this to a Web 2 game, Big Time is going to be similar to World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft, if anyone played it, you know is absolute crack. So 140 million up to 644 million. Still got a lot of token unlocks. It's still a new game. Wouldn't hold this more than 6 to 12 months. And I wouldn't also get into this right now. I would be sticking in Sol, Phantom, AVAX, IMX Beam. I want to play in your big infrastructure plays. Once the gaming industry really starts to heat up, sort of rotate your assets in higher risk plays like individual game covering right. Sidus did pretty well in the bull run earlier this year. I'm pretty sure it did a 2x from in March. We were sitting at 0.5, and yeah, it did go up past 0.1 up to did over a 2x in quite a short period of time, and it did come down. So Sidus, I do know that they actually really launchpad as well within their game, and anything with the launchpad that happens when there's a gaming bull run, you know it's just going to up only. At 40 million, it's not bad right now. It did go up to a strong 100 million. I think definitely go back and test those highs. Now you got Moontropica, and if you believe in memes, as done extremely well in the past year, and you believe in gaming, this is going to be the best intersection between gaming and me. Go to the website, that is quite memeish. They got lots of characters running around. Bill Gates, SBF, all fighting. If you go look at the community behind Moontropica, when this thing runs, it truly runs, and it's got a very big loyal group of loyal fans that are just going to push this thing and scream, "I'm not selling, I'm not selling." Well, you being one of the smart ones, if it starts to go up doing a 10-20x, will want to sell this one. And the last one that I want to cover is Crown by Third Times Games. Pretty sure Crown has now been approved on the Apple Store. Crown is all about horse racing, so gambling. And you know that gambling is one of the biggest in the whole world. Compare that with Web3. You don't even need to go to the horse racing track to bet anymore. You can gamble on horses just straight from your phone. And two other ones I also really wanted to cover specifically for AVAX is Bloodloop, and Shrapnel. AVAX has held conferences, and within those conferences, they've had lots of booths talking about just gaming. They know how big the growth of gaming is, how important AVAX's ecosystem and infrastructure is to support gaming. Shrapnel and Bloodloop, two games already launched within AVAX, AAA studios, and there's also Off the Grid coming as well. You don't want to miss this. Cover the strategy again. You want to be in your L1s, Solana, AVAX, Phantom. Once we break market structure over 65K, we want to maybe buy the retest and ride that thing up. And after we actually break previous all-time highs at 73K, that's when I think alt run will really, really happen and Bitcoin dominance will come down, break that level about 50% and really start to come down to 55, 54, 53%. That's when the alt bull run will really happen. When that occurs, we'll want to shift your asset allocation. High risk plays, the lower market caps. So maybe going from infrastructure, launchpads into the videos, maybe even NFTs. There's a game that you really believe in and you want to get some of it. That's when you're able to be risk on. You don't want to be risk on right now before we've even broken market structure because if we go down and test the range lows, all these alts will really bleed in. You want to be in strong plays that show relative strength. Of course, is Sol, AVAX, FTM. Then get into your infrastructure plays, IMX, Super, Prime, and then slowly change your asset allocation as risk on gets more and always make sure to sell out on the way to the top. You're not going to be able to time the market perfectly, buy the exact bottom or sell the exact top, but we'll be able to sell on the way to the top and actually reach profits. Also, let me know which coins you're looking at in the comments. I'll see you in the next.